That moment when you don't remember the intro after only seeing it one time.
All I remember from the intro was na 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 na.
Well, do you want to sing the intro this time?
No, that's all I remember.
Okay, so... Gosh, these poor children! That's pretty much on my intro for this. That's all.
You're the poor children?
Yes, I can't think of any other intro. Anyway, welcome to the Charming Analysis Podcast, guys. How is everybody doing today? How are you doing, honey?
Depressed.
It's okay. We all have those days. I'm kind of eh. This week's been kind of eh for both me and JC, so don't be surprised if we're kind of eh about stuff. But we're going to try not to be, because we're going to be actually reviewing another anime. It's been a while since we last reviewed an anime. The last anime we reviewed was Beastars, which was a couple months ago.
What's that anime?
Beastars is an anime.
Yeah, I know.
It's a furry anime. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so yeah, we actually decided to watch another anime and do a review on it. This time we're going to be doing a review on A Promised Neverland. It's a new anime that came out last year. And my bean originally saw it and got me into it.
I saw like a day before you.
Yeah, you watched like the entire fucking thing a day before me.
I'm sorry if I was fucking hooked on it.
It's okay. So, you may want to talk a little louder, honey.
Okay.
Anyway, so do you want to talk about what A Promised Neverland is about? You want to go into the synopsis since you know it more than me?
Alright, so The Promised Neverland pretty much takes place in the distant future where there are these group of kids who live in an orphanage in a closed area, and we don't know why. They're just being taken care of in this orphanage by a single woman known as Mom. And so the main characters are Emma, Ray, and Norman, who pretty much are like children who have fallen into this establishment. And then one day they learn a terrible secret, and because of this they must escape before they all die.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what the fucking thing is about.
Yeah, that's basically the plot of the whole thing, but...
We'll go into spoilers probably later.
Yeah, but there's definitely going to be spoilers in this, because...
There's always spoilers in our
I
podcast.
know, but I would like to let people know just in case. Because some people like to watch stuff and don't want to be spoiled, so... Okay. We do talk about spoilers in our podcast because it makes it more interesting and you get pretty much the whole picture and stuff like that if we do that. So...
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess... What did you think of the anime? Because... Like, I want to hear your thoughts first, because you saw it twice.
Yeah.
So you probably know, like, you probably saw stuff you didn't see the first time. I only saw it one time. JC actually saw this the day before me. They were like, oh, I'm going to watch this anime. And then all of a sudden I just see them watching something. I'm like, what are you watching? And they didn't really say. And then I was like, are you watching anime? And they're like, yes. So I'm actually getting hooked on anime. Yay!
The thing is, I did not grow up with anime, but at the same time, I don't think that's a notion of criticism that people should take. Just because you didn't grow up with something doesn't mean you can't learn from it.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those, it's an art form that I never got into as a kid. I never really cared about anime when I was a kid. I never cared for any, like, of those... I never really cared for those types of art styles or, like, cartoons.
But somehow you liked this one, though. What drew you to this one?
I heard about it beforehand, and this is one of the few animes that I actually wanted to watch. It was always just in the back of my head. Like, as soon as I heard from it. Because this is one of those animes that, like, everyone was talking about it. Although, probably less than the big one, which I think the big one Like, the big one that people really got introduced into anime was, like, Attack on Titan. That was a huge phenomenon.
So, same with My Hero Academia. Everyone is into that, too.
My Hero Academia as well. There's, like, certain shows that come out every couple of years that, like...
That get people hooked on anime.
Yeah.
And more the recent ones, because I know for a long time, Pokemon was one, Naruto was another one, Bleach was another one. Naruto lasted for a long time. It literally ended, like... after I finished high school, I believe. But I never saw, like, Naruto and Bleach and stuff like that.
Dragon Ball,
like...
Cowboy Bebop,
Lupin the Third, I know, was going on for a long time. But I think maybe Black Clover, but I'm not sure. But I think more the recent ones that we have heard of.
I'm well aware of, like,
Fairy Tail. Fairy Tail's also
Fairy Tail. Okay, well, and probably... Kill la Kill.
Kill la Kill wasn't that long.
Neon Genesis.
Kill la Kill was like only 2 seasons.
I don't know.
Neon Evangelion, that was another one that a lot of people remember from when it came out. But more like the modern anime that have been like big series that have really influenced a lot of people. At least from what I've heard. Probably Black Clover, maybe.
Well, the thing that got people, like, I think with the most that you're going to see when you're a kid is either you're going to see anime on, like, you know, like, you're going to see anime on, what's that service?
Crunchyroll?
No, not Crunchyroll. The
Adult Swim?
Not Adult Swim, the one for kids. 4Kids?
Yeah, 4Kids TV. But I don't think 4Kids is even around anymore.
Yeah, it's not around anymore. But that's what got people really introduction into anime. And so did Hayao Miyazaki. Because those are the only things you can watch to kids. And then maybe when you got, like, around 13, you could watch some Dragon Ball on, like, Adult Swim. Like,
yeah.
It was one of those things to where, like, you know, anime grew really, really popular. I think once Toonami came.
Yeah, Toonami is pretty much where people started watching anime at.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the fucking history of anime, and honestly,
I probably know a bit more than you do, but that's a video for another day because we're talking about A Promised Neverland. So I guess,
I mean, the thing about it is, like, I knew a little bit about going into this anime because to be completely honest, it's like if I'm interested in something, I'm just gonna look it up and see what people are hyping about. And the same thing happened when I guess saw Attack on Titan for the first time, and I was like, holy shit. So I was like...
There's all different types of anime out there, and you're gonna find something you like.
Yeah, and...
Like, I'm more for slice of life. You're probably more for, like, the action-adventure, like, suspense. I feel like you would like more, like, the suspense horror anime, I feel like, is what you would be into.
Yeah, I would totally be into that. That's why I still need to watch Death Note someday.
Yeah.
Or, like, literally any other anime, like, that has to dabble in that. Like, it's one of those things to where I'm more dipping my toes into this, like, medium, but I don't want to say it like that in a way, because I just want to accept it as what it is.
Yeah.
I want to accept it for what it is. To me, like, anime... Like, people have hyped up anime for so long to me that anime is just a medium. It's another medium that can impress me or disappoint me.
Yeah.
Like,
it's basically like Japanese cartoons.
I don't think anime is the god among literal entertainment.
Yeah, like, there's plenty of stuff out there, and everybody has their preferences. I got to put my phone on silent, sorry.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, what did you think of...
Wait, I want to know, like... What did you know about this anime?
I actually knew nothing about it. I didn't even know it fucking existed.
So you didn't even hear about it?
No. The only anime I've heard of in the last, like, couple years... Okay, here's the thing. I've been into anime probably since I was, like, 13.
Oh, I thought younger.
A little bit younger. Pokemon was, like, probably my first anime, but I didn't realize it was anime till I was older. Pokemon was probably the first anime I've seen, but... That was really the only one I saw for the longest time until, like, a couple other shows I've seen. I think with 13 was when I actually started getting into the real shows that I heard about. But I mostly were for, like, I wasn't really into mainstream stuff back then just because it was so fucking long. So I mostly watch like shorter anime, like this one we watched, like this anime we were talk about. But trying to remember, but like I was into it like all throughout high school and some parts of college. I took a break from it for like a couple years because there was some anime that looked good, but it just didn't really interest me. And then I started getting back into it again once we got our apartment, and like once some of like
came out.
When Beastars came out,
Agretsuko came out.
Agretsuko I saw a little bit before that. I think Agretsuko was the one I started watching and broke my anime, like, it broke my anime absence for a while.
Your anime hiatus.
Yeah, because I wanted to take a break from it for a while, and then I saw Agretsuko, loved it, and then the only other anime I saw besides that was Beastars and this. These are the only other anime I've seen recently, compared to, like, how much I used to watch as a kid. It's just, I'm kind of more picky-choosy now with my anime, just because I've seen a lot of shit done over and over again, and I kind of want, like, something new to come out of it.
Traction, I don't know if Castlevania is an actual anime.
It probably is, but I don't really know.
I gotta ask our friend if it is, because I don't... Probably is made... I don't know where it's made. I gotta look it up to see.
Anyway...
But anyway,
we've gotten like so off topic. 11 minutes in, we're already like off topic.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. I just like, so you knew nothing about this anime. You didn't even hear of it.
I didn't even know of this anime until you told me.
Which was shocking, because I was like, this was like one of the big animes that came out in 2019. Like, really
Honey,
big.
You do realize, like, I wasn't into anime too much. Like, I only dipped my toe in it.
Yeah, but I'm surprised. Like, you heard of, like, the big animes that came out. Like,
everyone heard about the big animes that came out.
Yeah, but which is why, like, I'm surprised, like, you didn't, like, realize that this was, like, a
I didn't know if this was considered one or not, and I didn't even know about it at the time.
This is back when everybody was, like, promoting the hell out of Crunchyroll, too.
I don't remember this. I legit do not remember this from 2019. Because, like, for me, the only, like... anime I remember being promoted in 2019 or sometime like a couple years back was like Violet Evergarden. And that was like booming everywhere. And like My Hero Academia was definitely one of the ones I heard everybody was getting into. Literally was My Hero Academia. Like,
well, maybe we'll watch that someday.
One day, but I kind of want to wait till like we finish other shows before we dive into that, because that's like 3 or 4 seasons, and that's a lot to watch.
Yep.
So, that's going to take us a while to do. Anyway, can we talk about the anime now? Because we're literally... I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a butt, but it's like... We're literally like 12 minutes in! And we've only talked about like our stuff of anime. We haven't even talked about the anime where you're reviewing.
I know, but I think like, you know, from our backgrounds, it's important because you're used to watching anime and I'm not. So it's like one of those things to where worlds collide and shit like that.
Yes, I'm not like an expert on anime, but I've seen enough to know tropes and shit.
Yeah.
While you've only seen like 2. You've only seen like 2 anime. Technically 3. Agretsuko I technically count as an anime because it's more cartoony than anything, but it's technically an anime. So you've seen 3. You've seen Agretsuko, you've seen Beastars, and now you've seen this.
Yeah.
The only other anime I would like to see that came out is probably Brand New Animal, because that actually looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All the other animes that I want to see are like...
really old.
They're either like... the old ones that people, either the not the old ones like from the 80s. I mean like the ones from like, you know, like the ones that came out like Death Note or Full Metal Alchemist or stuff like that.
Maybe Sailor Moon.
I don't want to see Sailor Moon.
Okay.
But
one day I will get you into Pokemon, or at least get you to watch some of it.
You'll get me to watch that, or like, I don't know. It just all depends on what it is actually about. But anyway. So, I guess we'll just go through
we're basically going to talk about what we both thought about the anime, like, from, like, beginning to end. We'll probably talk about a couple of the episodes, our favorite characters, where you think the anime is going to go from here, and then we'll give our rating. How does that sound?
Okay.
So, since you saw it twice, you get to go first. What did you think of A Promised Neverland? Like, what was your initial thoughts? Like,
The first time or the second time I watched
probably
it?
both.
Okay, first time I watched it all the way through in practically one sitting. I would not put if I had a chance to look at my phone and watch it, I did not, hesitate on doing that.
Yeah.
I literally
You watched it for, 4 hours.
I watched it for, 4 hours because it's not that very long. It's only, a 12-episode season.
Well, most of the anime, newer anime is, 12 episodes, depending on the series. Mm-hmm. Most of them are, 12 episodes.
Okay.
But it entirely depends on the series and, I guess, how they decide to do it. A lot of anime I've seen have, 12 episodes to start off with, and if they get renewed for another season, they get more. Mm-hmm. Anyway, continue.
Okay, so the first time I watched it, I couldn't put, literally the tension and the suspense of it was so enthralling to me that I could not put it down. I could not stop watching it until, I at least got to the very end and saw, what happened. It got me hooked immediately. The first episode immediately was, one of those fucking rare shows that instantly got me hooked.
Like Owl House did.
Yeah. And it's even with my favorite shows of all time,
they never got you hooked
BoJack Horseman or Breaking Bad, it never really, hit me. It never,
hit you as hard as this did?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
BoJack hit me, I think, in the second half of the first season, I think, when I knew that this was a show that probably I should continue watching. And Breaking Bad took actually longer. It actually took up until probably season in the middle of season 2, I think.
Middle of season 2. Damn, that's crazy.
The only reason why I kept watching Breaking Bad was because it was just funny.
It was just interesting and
funny.
It
was interesting and funny, and then when you watch more of it, the more it goes on, the more it turns into a really dark, depressing character study.
Yeah.
But this one got me really hooked immediately.
That's crazy because the last 2 series we've seen, minus Infinity Train, you got hooked on immediately, and I'm damn.
So, wait, it was Owl House and what else?
This anime and Owl House.
Oh, okay.
Minus Infinity Train, which you are not interested in whatsoever, but you're literally watching it because of me.
Yeah, I know. The things I do for love.
Yeah, and because I've not been interested in it more than you have, but you're willing to give it a chance, though, which I appreciate.
Yeah.
You're willing to give stuff a chance, and I'm willing to give stuff a chance.
That's just how I am. I'm willing to take bullshit.
Same.
Anyway, so I just... It was just one of those things to where the introduction I loved. I liked how they introduced all of these characters. Even though you don't get to know every single one of the children that is there, just the presence of them just living in this house and just how their daily lives are and stuff like that. The few characters that get singled out to be the main characters and stuff like that, and side characters. It's just so entertaining to sit through and see, and the fact that every once in a while the camera will just zoom in uncomfortably to something, and it's
yeah,
and it's just that shit keeps me interested and I want to know what's gonna happen. And then when the first everybody talked about that's the main thing that everybody was talking about, that first episode, what happens at the end of the episode, shit goes down, and we finally have a plot that we can follow, and that type of shit is great. I love stories that just we're not gonna bullshit the plot to you, we're just gonna say, here, boom, premise, and here is the goal that we have to do by the end of the season or the series or whatever. I love shit like that. I just love shit that's
hell yeah,
we're not going to just waver on this is not a slice of life thing. It's just boom. I think one of those things to where I think that's just a lot of shows disadvantage.
Yeah.
A lot
some
of
shows, them beat around the bush, while this one literally just went into it, just being here, take it.
A lot of shows they just want to beat around the bush, want to take their time. And I get the idea of taking your time. But there's a difference between, like, dragging out something and actually pacing something to actually fit, like, an actual narrative.
That I can agree with. Like, for me, like, going into this, I didn't know what to expect from this. All I heard from, like, JC was that it's gonna be brutal. So I was like, what am I getting myself into? I didn't know what we were going into with this anime. And I was genuinely, like, surprised with literally everything about this fucking anime. So much shit in this anime.
Were you surprised as I was every episode? Because that's what it felt like.
Yes. Every episode had some fucking shit happen. Fucked up shit happened in literally every fucking episode. So if you're...
It wasn't even so much fucked up shit. It was just something to where it was another twist. It was another obstacle.
It kept like us on the edge of my seat and your seat.
Yeah.
But, like, you kept pacing back and forth, and I'm just, like, on the edge of my seat screaming at the TV, just like, what the fuck did we just watch? Like, literally, that was, like, my reaction for almost every fucking thing in this anime. Like, this anime threw me for a fucking loop. Like, so much. It's not even funny. So, okay, so, basically, so let's talk about, so, like, my initial reaction... I actually really enjoyed this anime. I enjoyed it more than I thought I was going to enjoy it.
So, like, okay. So, wait, I didn't explain this fully. So, the first time, I was enthralled. I was enthralled to where it was going to go and how it was going to do it. The second time I watched it, it got better for me.
It got better the second time?
Yeah, it got better the second time. You notice little details.
That you never noticed before.
Yeah, you notice little things that just make it tick so much better. It's just like, it's like I'm not opposed to watching a series over and over again if it's a series I actually really enjoy. Mm-hmm. I actually like seeing over and over again, even though I know what's going to happen.
It still makes it interesting.
That tension is like, that's why I don't really personally, like, care about spoilers. Because in the moment when you're watching it, that's what's going to matter. Yeah. That's what's going to matter in that scene.
I care about spoilers when it comes to certain series. Like, some series I'm okay with it being spoiled and some I'm not. It depends on which one I'm invested in.
Are you glad I didn't spoil this?
Honestly, yeah. I'm kind of glad you didn't because... Oh boy, this one made me so depressed afterwards. But at the same time, it's like, it was so good.
It was
depressing, but it was good.
Okay.
And I was like,
I have a different word for that.
What?
But I'm not going to reveal it just yet.
Fine.
Two beautiful words that describe this anime beautifully. But either way, you continue with your initial reaction.
Okay, so I guess let's go into, like, the main points of this anime. So, like, basically, from what we witnessed in the first season, because this is supposed to get a season 2 at, like, the beginning of next year.
Which I'm really excited for because
Me too.
I don't have to wait. This actually came out early 2019.
Yeah, so like, and by the time we watched it, this is actually a really good time to watch it because we only have, like, couple months until, like, it comes out. So that was actually good timing that you picked this.
By the way, I can hear you can actually, like, you could actually watch, like, if it's not premiering on Netflix, which I don't think it is because Netflix doesn't own the right to The Promised Neverland.
Why was it on Netflix?
I don't know, but it's if it doesn't appear on Netflix, that we could possibly watch season 2 on Crunchyroll if it is possible. Because I don't think.
Well, you're probably gonna have to pay for Crunchyroll.
I'm sure you have to pay for it.
I get it, but still.
But it's like, I'm willing to put on the free trial just to watch this.
Oh my gosh. That's probably going to be me if we have to watch, like, season 3 of Infinity Train because we can't fucking find it anywhere. And it's like, what the fuck? Anyway, let's get back to talk about this. We like, go all in circles. It is 24 minutes already, and we haven't even gone through, like, the first section. So, basically, from what we've seen in the first season about this anime, this takes place, I'm guessing, on Earth? Yeah. I'm going to guess on Earth because it doesn't really specify, but basically...
Year 2045.
It's the year 2045. you basically have a world.
Can you imagine that year actually comes to fruition?
That's gonna be interesting. We're gonna look back at this, be like, this. I'm gonna be like, this better not be like what our future's gonna be like.
Unless the whole world blows up.
Yeah,
which might happen, but
honey,
we live in 2020. Literally anything could happen.
Shush. Anyway, so in this world, demons are literally like ruling pretty much most of the world, from what I can tell. From, like, what we've seen so far. Mm-hmm. And they have these human farms. So, basically, these demons eat humans. Mm-hmm. And the kids happen to be on a fucking human farm. These kids aren't, like, little kids. These kids are, like, 11. These 3 main characters are fucking 11 years old.
Well, they all, like...
It's from, like, 11 to, like, 4 or 5.
No, they have babies.
They even have babies.
So 1.
Babies. In this fucking...
1 to 12 years old.
Yes, and it's fucking crazy. Like, the way the kids find out about this is one of their friends... I think her name was Connie, I believe. Her name was Connie. She ends up getting adopted, in quotes. And they find out her toy was left there, so they ran out to go give it to her, and when they got to the gate, they saw her fucking dead. She fucking got killed.
I know.
By these fucking demons. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, like, literally, as soon as I saw that, I'm like, what the fuck are you showing me, honey? Like, what am I watching? And, like, that fucking broke me.
Did that?
There were so many scenes in this.
Your jaw was on the floor.
My jaw dropped, man. Like, this fucking anime made my jaw drop. Like, here's the thing. I love kids. I love children. They're adorable. They're very sweet.
Cool.
So,
I hate children.
You shush. We're opposites, but we're alike. Anyway, so seeing this anime of kids getting, like, mutilated by these fucking demons is sad, but at the same time it's interesting because you want to know why they're doing it.
To be completely honest, though, you only see that one in the beginning.
I know, but, well, you technically see 2. Sister Crow.
Yeah, but she's not a kid.
But still, you see it happen. Anyway, so basically they see they're all considered family, but they're not. They're all orphans, but they consider each other family. They see Connie fucking dead in this, like...
Emma and Norman
both see Connie dead. And they freak out, like, immensely. And they end up escaping. The look on their fucking faces was so sad. And just Emma fucking crying. She was fucking crying. It fucking broke me. Like, dude. This anime fucking broke me. Like, that first episode, I was like, we're watching the whole thing tonight. We literally watched this whole thing in one night.
I know.
That's how, like, intense.
You were hooked.
I was hooked literally based on that, but at the same time, it's like, I want to know what the fuck
I wish
happens.
I could have recorded your reaction, because it's like one of those pure moments to where I'm like, pure adulterated entertainment, you'd say.
Yeah. But basically, like, from that point on, the kids are basically trying to escape the orphanage so that way they don't get fucking eaten. Because apparently how it's done in the anime, so all the kids are homeschooled by the mother who is, and this mother's named Isabel. Mm-hmm. So she basically is teaching the kids everything. She's feeding them. She's making sure they're happy, they're loved. Mm-hmm. But then you realize after this first episode, this lady's fucked up. And it's like, she's fucked up like crazy. She's fucking insane. Yeah. Just the idea of that alone pisses me off, because it's like, what the actual fuck? Like, the way this world is built is fucking crazy. So, like, basically, they're doing whatever they can to find out, okay, how does this work? So we find out that the mother has tracking devices on each of the kids, so that way they know, she knows where they're at, like 24/7. She literally has tracking devices on all these fucking kids. And it's like, how? Because at first I was like, how the fuck? Are you like some fucking super mom? Because...
Probably. She was trained to do this.
Yeah. Because the moms in this, like, universe, all the kids that are past 12 that don't get eaten, all the girls that are past 12 that don't get eaten become mom figures. So they basically raise the kids so they get eaten again. It's like this fucking cycle. So this makes you wonder where all the fucking men are. Because you never see any adult men in this anime. Like, first season, you have seen no adult men. None. All of them are, like, females. Except, like, the kids. Because...
They're probably either... They're probably
what?
They're probably either, like, you know, either researchers or, to put it lightly, they're probably in breeding farms.
Probably.
For humans.
I don't know. But basically, you deal with that kind of thing, and then the kids thought they got the hang of what was going on, and then another mother figure comes in named Sister Krona. She basically is trying to get rid of Isabella, and she's also trying to get rid of the kids so she can become a mom figure, because she's technically a sister. I don't know what the difference between a sister and a mom is in this. So
a sister is a servant. The mom is the
master
head of the house.
Yeah. So this is one of those, like, things to where it's like a hierarchy. So the mom's like the king or the queen in this case. And then you have everyone under her. So the kids basically... The way the kids are picked out to eat by these demons is by test scores. So whoever has, like, the best test scores and lasts until they're 12 years old is, like, the best meat, apparently, in the universe, while the other ones are, like, subpar. It's like... I'm trying to think of an example. It's like... I gotta think of a good example. It's like you get the cheap ribeye steak versus, like, the fucking filet mignon. That's how you can, like, tell. And they're basically doing it based on IQ and stuff. And then we find out, like, sometime later, they pretty much eat the brains of the kids. It's livestock. They're basically treating them like livestock. And it's like, what the actual fuck?
There is an actual, like, because the livestock is raised happily.
They turn out better.
Yeah, they turn out much better.
So, yeah, basically that's what happened with... That's basically the premise of the show. At least, like, the lore of it so far, because that's all we really know about the show based on what we've seen. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't really know, like, how it got like this, where the other humans are. We do know that there's other farms. So they're not the only farm. There's other ones. We just don't know, I guess, how the Earth is run right now with these demons basically eating these humans. So that's all we really know based on the first 12 episodes of the series. Mm-hmm. So, okay. So what do you think of the plot in general? Like, what do you think of the plot?
I think it's a great way to start, like, a premise. Well, because the thing about it is there's so many, like, adaptations of this story. Even if you look past anime, there's a lot of young adult novels that are written like this.
But this is, like, the first anime we've really seen like this.
Oh, yeah, but I'm sure there's, like, a dozen like that where, like, pretty much it's just, like, you know, it's a society where someone needs to uppercut the upper class because they feel like society is pretty much taking a big shit on them. So it's like, story is nothing really new. Like, rebellion and like, up against a
But the way they do it is different.
Yeah.
Than other things. Like, the plot itself and, like, the tropes of it are stuff you've seen in other anime, but at the same time, they do stuff a bit different. They add twists to it that you really don't expect.
This whole season, I can't say for the whole series, but this whole season is pretty much an escape plan.
Yeah.
And honestly, I'm a sucker for escape plans, so, you know.
Same. So, Okay, so I guess another thing I want to ask about. So, like, okay, so I guess what is something about the series that you didn't expect coming? I guess. What were some things you didn't expect to see, but they did happen? I guess is how to explain it. Like, what are some things that you saw that were unexpected to you?
Heavy amounts of dialogue.
Yeah, because this is more dialogue based than like animation. Like it is animated. It's just this is more of like a dialogue heavy like anime from what we've seen so far. I don't know if that's only just for this first season or if it's gonna change in like the next season. But regardless, this is very dialogue heavy. So if you're willing to like sit down and watch a bunch of characters like talk for most of the series, then you're probably strategy. Basically, they learn it through a game of tag.
Yeah, this is not an action anime. This is not even like, you know.
This is basically a suspense anime.
This is a suspense anime
with horror in it,
with lots of dialogue and lots of planning. So if you're not into that, then don't bother. But I think it's actually a really fucking good gem.
Yeah,
because what they actually have to say is fucking interesting and actually moves the fucking plot along. Just saying.
Yeah, it's an interesting premise. Like the premise is something that people have probably seen.
It's an interesting premise. I've seen it before,
but they do it differently than other ones.
Yeah, because it's not like one of those things to where like, oh, we immediately find out. Now we gotta like, you know, uproot the whole nation because of it. It's like, no, these kids just doing it for survival, and I think that's what makes it different from most things.
They're just trying to get out of the house so they can finally like
they want to live in peace. They want to like live where they don't have to like they don't
have to get eaten.
Yeah, they don't have to get eaten. It's not so much that they want to like uproot anything anymore, although
they just want to live.
The only thing that Emma really wants to do that's like world changing is to just free other kids from this tyranny.
Yeah,
that's pretty much it. She don't want to fucking do anything else, although honestly in later chapters I've heard like different things, but we'll just have to see how the anime deals with it.
Yeah, because some manga and anime are completely different. It depends on the series, but we're gonna have to see how they how well they interpret the manga in the next season.
I don't know. It's just one of those things to where like it still sticks to like a dark fantasy type story, but there's also like elements of like action like later on in the manga from what I've heard, and like from what I've heard before, like people think that like the first arc of it is really, really good, and then like once they get out, it's gonna turn into more of an action adventure type story.
Well, I wouldn't mind that,
and
honestly.
like people have had very mixed thoughts on the ending. Like some say it's good. Some say it's
most
bad. People some say it's cop out, but it's like one of those things to where we won't know until because I'm not again, I don't care about spoilers. I just care to see how it's done.
Yeah,
because from like what I've seen, pacing is fucking brilliant.
Yeah, the pacing's really good in this. Like they don't hesitate with pacing in this. It's pretty fast.
And it doesn't hide anything.
And it doesn't hide anything
like, it doesn't like, oh, like, you know, once you see the demons in the first episode, it's like, oh, like, now mom is just gonna be like, oh, well, like, you know, you're just gonna see her creepy smile, and that's pretty much all that she's gonna do. Like, she's just gonna creepily smile at the kids, and the kids are gonna be like, what is she planning? And we had to deal with that for 9 episodes. And I'm like, I'm glad that they don't do that, and just immediately the next episode, she's like, I already found out what the kids are.
That's what fucking, like, surprises me. How the fuck did she find out how the kids knew about it, is what I want to know. Like, that's how I wanted to find out.
I don't know.
Because, like, that got me so fucking curious, and I was like, how the fuck do you know what these kids are doing?
She trained for this. She's one of the best moms.
In, like, the whole, like, area, I guess.
Yeah, in the whole world, probably.
And it's fucking crazy because it's like, what the fuck? Okay, so basically, like, the whole premise is them basically trying to get out of this house. So a lot of it's planning, and then something you find out that happens like halfway, like I think like 4th or 5th episode in, you find out that Ray's basically betraying Emma and Norman. He's basically teaming up with the mom to make sure that they don't get that like they get killed.
Yeah.
Which to me, I honestly did not expect that at all. And I was like kind of like surprised.
I didn't expect it either, and I really thought it was just going to go the route of like, well, now you're a traitor, but we're going to keep you close on our side because we're going, and then he's going to betray him in the end. I thought it was going to be one of those twists, but the way it played out and the way that Ray, I guess, like, gravitated toward the kids because, let's be honest, he grew up with them.
Yeah.
He grew up with them from a really young age, and he doesn't have, like, the most that he has with the mom, like, in terms of relationship, is just more of, like, how do you call it?
Companion?
More like, it's more of a arranged, like, ownership.
Yeah. Because we also find out in this that, big spoiler, Isabel's actually Ray's real mom. That's his mom. That is doing this bullshit. They're related.
And they both know it.
And they both know it.
Like, they don't keep shit really hidden.
Yeah.
And it's just enough, like, you know, it's actually a lot of information they give about this world.
Yeah.
And, like, I was, like, amazed how much information that these kids got. Like, without even really cutting to any shots of, like, the world from you get backgrounds and backstories, and you cut to it, but you don't see it from, like, the kids' perspective. You don't, because they never seen it before. And, like, just in that, like, one location, you just got so much out of that.
Yeah.
And it's, like, it was the perfect pace, too. If it, like, you know, if it was probably if it was probably double the episodes of this, I think it would have gotten boring really quickly.
Yeah, so I'm kind of glad, like, they did it the way they did.
Fucking perfect pacing, fucking great, like, tension, especially with how, like, the caretakers were just, like, outwitting the children all the time, and, like, pretty much just putting these kids in a hopeless situation.
Yeah.
What those two words that I was describing before of how to describe this whole season: brutal hopelessness.
Yeah,
that is the most perfect way to describe.
Yeah.
At least the first season of this show.
Because there's, like, a lot of moments where you feel like the characters give up, and a lot of people were just telling them to give up, but they really don't give up. Like, they literally strive to get out of there.
Specifically, Emma doesn't give up.
Yeah, like, Emma doesn't give up at all. Like, these were the main... Okay, let's talk about, like, the things that... Like, since you talked about the things that surprised you the most, I'll talk about that, and then we'll briefly talk about the characters.
Okay, what are the things that surprised you the most? Because there's a lot of things that you were surprised at, because I saw your jaw drop, like, 20 times throughout this whole season.
Yeah, okay, if I had to pick my top 3 things that honestly, like, shocked me the most out of this entire anime was the first episode. The ending of the first episode literally shocked me so much. And then my second one that I think probably shocked me the most was the fact that Norman dies. The fact that he dies... Even though everyone tries to save him, his 2 best friends are trying to fucking save him so that he can leave with them. And he just tells them, look, I have to do this. And he doesn't want to, like, take it back. He literally ends up dying for both of his friends to live and escape. And that, like, that fucking broke me. Because this kid didn't want to fucking do that, but he knew he had to do it.
Yeah.
Because it was either him... Or it was either, like, it could have been any one of them. It could have, and I was just surprised it was him, of all the people.
He was like, I'm going to do this because they're my family.
Yeah.
And, like, I have no other option. I literally have run out of options. The only thing I can do is pretty much just
give you the plan and then
give
die.
you the plan that I
Came
want
up
you to
with.
do. Yeah.
Yeah, like, he literally came up with this whole fucking plan of how they're going to escape. And then after that, he basically sacrificed himself. He traded places, because originally Ray was going to leave.
Yeah.
At that time. But then Norman took his place. And Ray was supposed to leave, like, the next day or, like, a couple months later.
Well, what do you think about him not actually being dead?
I feel like he did die, is the thing. Like, I feel like, well, because if he did, that's a weird way of doing it. Because here's the thing. You don't see him get killed. However, you do see a flash of him talking to Emma and Ray, and then you never see him again. So, I don't know if he technically did die or not. We don't really know. Either he died and that was his ghost.
But it could have also
been a hallucination.
Yeah, it could have been a manifestation of what Emma and Ray wanted to see.
Yeah.
Not of what some spiritual bullshit probably has.
Yeah, so either he died and came back as a ghost, or that last part, because you see Norman again one more time at the last episode, but he's only there for like 2 seconds.
Yeah, which I hope doesn't actually like become an actual thing. There's one of the most least interesting cliches I could actually pick up from is like this character comes back as a ghost, and now they're informing the main characters that they were friends or knew from in real life, and now they're like, I don't know, putting them in danger or something. Like
I don't think they're gonna do that. If they do that, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think he's mainly going to be in flashbacks now, if they ever talk about him, maybe.
Probably.
He's probably only going to be in flashbacks, not like the actual series anymore.
Yeah, it's like what Breaking Bad did to... I'm not going to say. I'm not going to say that.
Anyway, the last thing. This thing is the one thing in this anime that legit fucking broke me. I almost started crying. And I was just so hurt. It was more like it hurt my soul. Oh, God. This fucking hurt my soul.
You're gonna talk about that scene?
Yes.
Or
okay.
Not that scene, but that like,
moment.
That second. It just happened in a split second. And to be completely honest, I think we all, like, when I watched it for the first time, and then you watched it the first time, I think we both thought of the same thing.
Yeah. So basically, for context, I don't remember which episode that was. I think it was episode 6 or 7.
It was episode 8.
It was 8?
Yeah.
Are you sure? Anyway, it was episode 8, and basically the mom is trying to get the kids to stop trying to escape. Ray's trying to get her off their trail. Norman is trying to run away because he's supposed to like get eaten the next day.
No, this happened before that.
Oh, wait, it happened before that?
Yeah, it happened, like, when they were gonna test out the...
Oh, the testing.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, to test out how they were gonna escape, they had to think of all kinds of stuff, and they found out there was a wall protecting the entire property in the forest, and past the fence. The fence is, like, fucking tiny. It's, like, to your, like, fucking knees. So you jump over the fence, and there's, like... a big-ass wall. And then when Norman climbed up the wall with all the sheets, you find out on the other side there's a fucking cliff. And this wall has, like, stuff that hangs, like, that wall
I thought you were going to talk about the moment.
I'm getting to it. So, this moment that I'm talking about happened before this. Mm-hmm. So, Emma and Norman are both going toward the wall to try and, like, figure out how the rope thing is going to work. And then all of a sudden, the mom comes by and tells them to come back home. They say they don't want to go back. And then, like, Emma basically ends up distracting Mother. Norman ends up running with the sheet and tossing it. And then this part, I swear, this part, like, made me break. Because at first, I honestly, okay, and then all of a sudden, like, She hugs the mom, and then all of a sudden you hear a big-ass crack. You hear a crack. And at first I thought, did this fucking woman break her neck?
That would have been so fucking...
fucked up.
Yeah.
That would have been so fucked up.
That would have been so fucked up. And so just unexpected. Because, like, if she legit killed Emma and, like, was, like, holding up her body as her neck was broken to the other kids saying, see, I know you couldn't escape. I would have been like, but
that would have pissed me off if that happened. I would have been so pissed. But I was probably just as pissed. So thankfully it wasn't her neck. This lady broke the child's fucking leg clean. She cleanly broke this fucking 11-year-old's leg. And you could see it. You could see how broken it was.
Yeah.
It was graphic. You could fucking see the bone crack.
yeah.
And, like, her leg was deformed. You could fucking see it.
Yeah.
And her scream was so, like, sad. It hurt my fucking soul.
By the way, we watched the dubbed version.
Yeah, we watched the dub version of this whole thing. Just her crying. It broke me. That fucking broke me. And the fact that, like, the mom was consoling her after she broke her fucking leg pissed me the fuck off. That was the one scene in this anime I fucking broke me. That broke me. That's probably, like, the most, like, saddest thing I've ever seen in an anime. I've seen a lot of...
Is it really?
To me, it is. I've seen characters fucking die in anime. There's a lot of anime I've seen where the character fucking dies, and it's like the worst fucking thing ever. This is like worse than that. This is like the fact that this child is 11 years old, and this mother who's practically raised her since she was a baby, even though she's supposed to be getting fed to these demons, she breaks the leg like it's no issue. She just does it like that, and I'm like, what the fuck?
I know.
It messed me up. And I'm like, are you kidding me?
I know.
That was the one thing, that was like the one moment in that anime when I was like, what the fuck? What did I just witness? Because I thought they broke her neck. And then I was like,
yeah,
okay.
I thought she legit killed her.
Yeah. So after that, like...
And then she reveals that Norman, like, now that Emma's broken her leg, they can't go forward with the plan.
But then they end up going forward with it, and it took 2 months later. They basically made the plan last longer, and... Oh, I forgot another scene that also broke me, but then I realized it was fake, and it pissed me off after that.
What?
I was upset about it at first, and then I realized...
What?
Ray tried to fucking kill himself.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that Ray tried to light himself on fire also, like, pissed me off. Because I actually legit thought he died. And then we find out it was a trap.
Okay, the thing about that scene is, by the way, you're like, you're skipping through a lot of shit. But it's okay, we'll talk about it. But the thing about that scene is I don't think Ray really wanted it to go with anybody. I think he spent too much time there. He basically already turned 12, which is like the age where you don't live anymore.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a boy.
Yeah, because most of the men in this, you don't really see most of the men. So, like, most of the men end up dying in this.
Yeah, most men end up dying, and I bet, like, the females only get that partial choice is because of the fact that they're, like...
They're able to give birth to children.
Well, yeah, that, and also, like, they, you know, females are more tender to children.
Yeah.
And it's more of an instinct they got. And I think demons utilize that. But anyway, I think it was more to the fact that it wasn't so much that he was going to just like, oh, I was crazy the whole time, and now I'm going to, like, you know, fucking, even though it comes off that way, it's like, oh, I was crazy the whole time, and, like, I'm going to, like, you know, spark a fire so that I can show you how, like, insane that I've become because I've been here for so long. I don't think it was that. I think it was the fact that he legit gave up on himself. He gave up on himself, and like the reason why he wanted to do that, I think, was because he felt shitty about Norman, and he wanted to
redeem himself.
He wanted to redeem himself in his own mind, because I don't think he was doing it to like, you know, actually save everybody.
Yeah.
I think he was just doing it for his, like, own mental sake. Like, this is the only way I can do this. I cannot literally do it any other way.
Yeah, but then, like, you find out, because at first I thought, did Ray fucking kill himself? I was, like, so upset. And then you realize he fucking faked it, and that pissed me off for, like, 2 minutes.
It's not like he faked it. It's the fact that Emma stopped him from doing it.
Yeah, Emma stopped him from doing... You find out Emma stopped him from doing it, and they faked his death.
Yeah.
So that way they could escape. They basically set a fire to the house.
Think about it.
They get all the kids out that are 5 and up. Because all the kids that are, like, younger than 5, they end up keeping there.
Yeah.
Because they're eventually going to... Apparently they said they're eventually going to come back and get them.
Yeah.
So they end up escaping with any kid that is 5 and older.
Only Phil knows.
And the only kid that knows about it is Phil. Who's so fucking adorable, I swear. He's so cute. He's such an adorable child. I want to hug him.
Aww.
Anyway, so they end up escaping after the fire started. They all start running through the woods. They trained so much with tag to be able to run really fast. All these kids, they got to the top of the wall, and then they, like, started zip gliding all the way down.
Yeah, all the way down the cliff.
All the way down the cliff. And as soon as Emma got down there, I was like, okay, I think I feel a lot better. And then you see, like, the mom and what she went through, and this to me, I don't think that's redeemable.
It's not, but it's a cycle of why this world exists.
Yeah, to me, like, I thought they were doing it to make them redeem her, because I was like, that is not redeemable. You are not a redeemable person, because you broke your child's fucking leg. You knew about this shit, but you still do it. So, to me, that just broke me.
Yeah.
Anyway, so let's briefly talk about, like, just the main characters at this point, because there's so many characters to even count.
I mean, not really. You can just, like, list the main 3, the villain, and
there's, like, more than one
side
villain,
characters.
Okay, so there's more than one villain in this, but let's go over it, because there's Emma, Norman, and Ray, who are the 3 main characters. And then you have Gilda and Dawn, who both eventually, I feel like, become main characters.
Yeah.
Like, at first they're not, but then after, like, I think a couple episodes, they end up becoming main characters. Mm-hmm. So there's 5 main characters.
By the way, I think I don't know how many people, like, would think this if they were to watch it, but my main concern is that people are going to think that the dialogue-based episode, every episode is dialogue-based, but people are going to think that the dialogue
is overshadowing everything else.
Is going to be, like, pretty much over-exaggerated or over-smart, if you could say that. Because some people are going to be like, oh, they're kids. They're, like, 11. Like, how many kids know this? But you got to remember that these kids are...
They were raised in, like, a hostile environment.
No, they're smart. They're smart. They were literally trained to do this since the age of 4. Or since the age that they could actually, like, read. So, and all these
So they
kids,
know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, because they were, like, you know, raised by a mom whose literal job it is to make sure that that
kids know what they're doing.
These kids are intellectual as possible. So it's like, it's not that, like, you know, it's really, like, you know, the dialogue-based scenes, even though they're kids and, like, you know, actual kids that, like, you know, live normal lives wouldn't probably talk this way. You gotta remember that these kids didn't live normal lives, and they were the whole time probably just, like, engrossed in studying and trying to pass, that these kids are probably smarter than, like,
most kids.
Most adults.
Yeah, because, like, so they're 11, and, like, Emma, Norman, and Ray are, like, the smartest kids literally in the entire orphanage. Like, they're the smartest kids, and they got the top of the class.
Yeah.
While, like, everyone else is, like, under them. So, that's another thing to take into consideration. Basically, Emma is, like, the free spirit that just wants everyone to be happy. She wants to bring everyone with her, like, in her family. She values family the most.
Yeah.
Out of everything.
Is she your favorite character?
Honestly, yeah, Emma's definitely my favorite. She's my favorite of pretty much the entire cast. And, like, a lot of the, like, the little kid characters are really cute. Like, Phil's adorable. I like her and Phil. Both of them are adorable.
Yes.
Norman's basically the smart guy. Well, he's more the brains. Ray's more of, like, the strategy. Mm-hmm. Not really bronze, but he's more of the strategy. And then Gilda is like, what do you consider Gilda and Dawn? I consider Dawn like the
They're
muscle.
the side characters.
Yeah, they're the side characters, but they're
That's
like...
what I consider
They
them.
eventually become main characters, though.
They do, but I don't think it's overshadowing to a point where they get their own episode.
Yeah, it's not overshadowing to the point where, like, because Emma, Norman, and Ray are both still the main characters. It's just those Dawn and Gilda eventually become more main characters as the series progresses. Mm-hmm. And then you have basically all the moms, but the main mom in this, at least in this season, is Isabel, and then Sister Krona, who's only like in, I think, like a couple episodes, and then she ends up dying.
Yeah.
Which pissed me off. And then, like, that's really all the villains, I think. At least besides the demons. We don't really know the demons' names or anything. That's the other thing. We don't know any of the demons' names.
We don't need to. They're monsters who want to kill children.
I know.
I don't think you need a personality for that.
I know.
Like,
so yeah, that's basically the characters in this. My favorite character is Emma. Like, who's your favorite before we, like, talk about our last 2 points? Because we literally have been doing this for an hour. Like, Emma's your favorite?
Honestly, but I think all of them are really, really good.
Yeah. Me too.
Like, I really love the intimidation of Mom, to be completely honest. Like,
yeah.
I love her intimidation factor. The way she, like, especially the first 2 episodes where they immediately, like, do that thing where I'm sure it's really popular in anime, just cut drastically to just the person just standing still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like a thing that anime does. Anime is known for, like, doing all kinds of stuff. Like, they do a lot of still frames in some things. They do a lot of, like...
Still frame horror should probably be utilized more, honestly, in just...
in animation in general.
No, any, like, the whole horror genre.
It probably is, but I don't really know. Like, this is like the only horror...
No, I'm not just in, like, animation. I'm talking live action. I'm talking
just in general.
Everything has to do with
because it really does help with, like, how a character is, like, expressed. It does help.
Yeah.
So, I guess the last 2 points we need to do before we give our... Like, the last point we need to do before we give our rating. What do you hope for season 2? What do you hope for season 2 out of this? Because it's
literally
supposed to come
not
out...
to be on a... not to go... Literally just don't be Attack on Titan season 2. What I mean by that is don't
lose sight of the...
So, like, don't become... Like, I hope to God that they approach it in a different way than...
What you've heard?
I don't know. Because it could be fun, to be completely honest. I have not read the manga. Let me say that really clearly. I have not read any manga, to be completely honest. But let's be very clear on something. If it's done well, and if it's integrated from the first arc to the second arc really well, then I will have a good time believing in it can be like change in tone and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's like you built that first season up so good.
I feel like they're gonna like make it good. I feel like they are, but something I would like them to do for the oh, sorry, go ahead.
I don't want the characters to suddenly it's like, even though it probably is typical in anime to like make these characters overpowered and like want to like uproot a whole nation.
I don't feel like they want to do that though. Like. So you just want it to be as good as this season.
I really do. I want the suspense to still be there. Even if it's with a different character, like other than Mom, I want there to be some sort of tension and like actual loss being done. Because
besides like what we already witnessed.
Yeah, because let's be honest, the reason why it like, you know, why it raised the stakes so much and why it's like highly regarded is because it took risks.
It took risks that, like, they're willing to take.
Yeah, well, it paid off because you actually see, like, it's not like one of those things where, oh, a character fucking, like, you know, you're like, anyone can fucking go. Anyone can.
Yeah, like, you literally, like, get it to the point where it could literally be anybody going next. It could have literally been Emma, and, like, it would have went to shit.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, so that's why you hope for season 2?
Yeah,
basically.
I just hope that it doesn't, like...
You just want it to be as good as the first one.
I really do. I really do.
Like, I feel like it has potential.
It's gonna become more of an adventure. Like, I wouldn't mind, like, the thing about it is, if season 1 is all I get of suspense, but season 2 with its own thing is still good, then I'll, like, still watch it.
You'll still watch it.
It's just, with those characters work so well in that setting. So well in that I don't know if I could see them in another setting where it's more an action adventure.
I don't feel like they're gonna do that, mainly because, like there's gonna be action in it, but at the same time, it's like they're all kids.
I don't know.
So I don't know if they're gonna do like an age
no
gap.
major spoilers, but I saw a couple of them holding machine guns. So I don't. How the
fuck did they get machine guns in this?
I don't know, Mari. You're just gonna have to.
How the fuck are they gonna get a hold of machine guns? They're kids. The oldest is like 11 and 12. How the fuck are they gonna get that?
I don't know. You're gonna have to watch season 2 to find out if they actually do that arc yet. But
Okay. Anyway. So, for me, the only stuff I hope season 2 does, I do hope we get to, like, see Emma trying to get some of the kids out of, like, these other farms, and probably just, I want to know more about the world that they live in, because you get it so vague in this season. I kind of just want to know, like, if there's more humans out there besides...
There is more humans.
But I want to actually see it.
That.
But I want to actually see it, though.
Yeah, but they're probably gonna, like, go through, like... They're probably going to have to go through other farms that they have to go through.
Yeah.
And, like,
so I feel like they're going to be...
the horrors of the world. That's what I want this to become. I want this to become an adventure film where they actually go off and explore, but what they actually
explore is like, horrifying.
Yeah, it's horrifying.
Okay.
And they have to escape another thing. Like, I wouldn't mind that, because then it actually makes sense for a dialogue-based anime to finally, like... If this was a strategy anime till the very end, I will love the show.
Yeah.
But until then, we're just gonna have to see how it plays out.
Yeah. Okay, so now we give our rating and then we're done, because I really want to record the second, like, Infinity Train.
I know.
So, okay. So, I'm going to give my rating first this time, because I think you normally give yours first.
Okay.
This time, I'm going to get mine first. Okay, so based on everything I've seen from this first season, I actually give this a 9.5 out of 10. I actually really liked this. I didn't know what I was expecting going into it, but I'm glad of the outcome of this first season. I really do hope season 2 is going to be good. We will cover season 2 whenever it comes out, but I really do hope that it gets better than this, because I feel like it did really good. Its first season did fantastic. So, I see potential
Especially
in this.
since you weren't, like, expecting anything.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to get much out of this anime, to be completely honest with you guys. Like, I wasn't really expecting much. But after seeing this show has potential. Like, this could probably be better than, like, some of the other horror anime, like, I've heard of. Mm-hmm. So, I give it a 9.5. I will actually give it that. I was impressed. So, what do you give it, honey? What do you give it out of 10?
10 out of 10, best anime ever.
Really? You give it? Are you saying that, or are you, like...
No, I'm serious.
You actually serious?
10 out of 10, honestly.
Best anime you've seen so far?
Probably.
Based on Beastar and, like, Agretsuko?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
It's better. It's like...
Way better than what you were expecting.
Yeah, honestly, it was.
I'm glad.
It was.
I finally got you into more anime. I wonder what anime I'm going to get you into next.
Like, everything from the dialogue to how, like, this plan worked to, like, the intensity of, like, what these kids were risking to the fucking, like, gorgeous shots. Like, not, like, the animation isn't, like, something to really, like, rave about, but I think what makes it is the fact that they do, like, add so much fucking good cinematography and so much character animations that express fear, mostly.
Yeah.
That it's literally just so good to look at. It's just so... It's
so
good shit. It's good shit. Like, the music is fucking, like... It's like, enticing, but it's, like...
It makes it interesting.
It's French to love. Like, it's so fucking good. Like,
it's chef's kiss. Mwah.
Mwah. It's beautiful. I love it. I hope they don't fuck it up. That's what I say about every show. I hope they don't fuck it up.
And some of them don't, okay? Some of them don't. You don't realize that, right?
I know that.
Yeah. Anyway, that is the end of our podcast for this show. So
we'll probably, and when season 2 comes out, we'll watch that, and then we'll record another podcast.
Yeah, we will be doing another podcast about this once season 2 comes out, which should be coming out this January, so be on the lookout for that. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We had so much fun filming this. So, I'm Mari.
I'm Jay.
And we are out.